Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to Rage Across New York. In this particular scene, I has wandered back near the over easy inn, kind of looking around to see if he sees a familiar face that can properly guide him to more of the areas that's owned by the Scepter of the Green. He looks around relatively aimlessly and half paying attention, easily shown in his body language.
Yeah, so Malcolm will be around. He's probably popped very quickly in the morning to have breakfast with some of the residents at some of the homes he's been going to. He's quickly visited his flock. Yeah, he's just sort of casually sat on a nearby sort of park bench, and he's just doodling. Um, he'll spot Ein and give a friendly sort of wave. Neil nod his head as well. Um,
Cub, as he walks over. Excuse me.
Malcolm will Malcolm will stand up and sort of as he nods, he'll show his neck for just a brief second. Uh, Ein, Raya, it's good to see you again in more relaxed circumstances. How are you enjoying Central Park?
It is a interesting place. The the sheer size of it all and the unusually high upkeep is rather impressive.
He'll nod. Well, I've lived in New York all my life, but a lot of people say that it's imagine it's something to get used to, but it's lovely seeing people come from all different corners of the world to see the park. A lot of people get married around Belvedere Castle. We call it the Fianna Castle. The Fiann and their kin have a little speakeasy under, but yeah, people get married there, so that's quite nice. It's just it's a nice, peaceful place in the middle of the city.
Hmm. He raises an eyebrow at the peaceful part, but he nods. So, where would you like to take me for this tour?
I'll go give a small smile. I do. I apologize. Sorry, I should have set up an itinerary, but he'll grin. I may uh I may have a call in about 10 minutes, but I can show you the lake and the castle and sort of the direction towards the training grounds if you'd like.
Not a problem.
He'll he'll nod and lead the way. How have you and Override Riot been settling in?
Mm, I assume Override would be fine. So, I hear he comes from, as he ponders for a moment, California. So, further west from here. So, and I hear that place is nearly all city.
He'll nod. I mean, makes sense for Glasswalker. They feel quite at home around this area.
Hmm.
He'll give a small smile and where are you from? Like,
Well, me directly, I am from Sweden.
he'll smile. A lovely whereabouts, like Stockholm
Yeah,
or further afield or
it's a smaller town, said, though closer to the mountains. At least a mountain. I actually really need to think about it, what actual famous places are nearby. Never much paid attention to it.
he'll he'll nod. I bet it's a big change coming from the mountains to here. It sounds beautiful. I've always wanted to visit Sweden.
It is a nice place. And I'm not too ignorant of cities. I went to, well, I went to let's see. I think the word you guys use is a associate's college or a technical degree. So I've had my schooling.
He'll nod. College with got those. What did you study?
Cybersecurity.
He'll he'll raise a brow, but like in a very curious way. Ah, and what made you go into cybersecurity?
Well, I have a knack with programming, and there's a lot of money in it, so pretty easy.
He'll nod. Well, there are a lot of people who wouldn't associate that with a Get Fenris, but from he'll sort of smile sadly actually. From the Get I knew, they were about facing challenges, obstacles, and hitting them head on. I suppose there's a lot of opportunities to do that in programming, fighting off viruses and so on.
Well, that and the fact that, well, let's just say, the get offenders most people see or hear about aren't the ones that remember their tales in history well enough.
He'll he'll give a small nod. What do you mean, Ray? I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with get customs myself.
Hmm? Well, think about my name. I am Woden's fortune, but who was Woden?
Malcolm will scratch the side of his head sort of thoughtfully. Woden was Odin, right? Kin of the gods. He had two ravens, thought and memory, which I suppose links into computers. Computers contain many thoughts and many memories. Keeper of knowledge, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
You should be getting a phone call about now.
Lovely. Malcolm will sell. I'm really sorry. It's one of my right. I better take this. Neil, take the call. Hello, it's Malcolm speaking.
Hey there. You said you wanted to go fishing?
Yeah, I've just finished my shift at the nursing home. Where would you like to go fishing?
Oh, come on down. Excuse me. Come on down to the pier near the Manhattan Cruise Central. You know where that is?
Um, I can look up directions certainly.
Yeah.
He'll
But make sure you don't cut through the iron boars or silver tusks or whatever they call themselves now. Make sure you don't cut through their territory. But yeah, it's just the basically you go to the bottom left of the set of the park there, and then walk for a few miles, and you'll come out. Yeah, basically around where I am. But
oh,
that's where I'm at.
I mean, I may be from Brooklyn, but I know a bit of Hell's Kitchen. Do you mind if I bring company, Raya? I'm just with a new guru on set. Um, and I'd feel quite polite not
Nah,
inviting him.
no. Come on, bring them along. I got a couple extra poles.
Children, well, he might enjoy that. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Malcolm will hang up phone, and he'll smile at I'm. Sorry, that was Missy. We're going to go fishing around her packed territory if you'd like to come. She said it was okay for me to bring you.
He nods.
Daryl?
Oh,
Mm.
oh, sorry. I forgot I was muted. He nods to that.
You have any experience fishing?
um, a little bit.
Well, I've never been myself, so Missy's been trying to help me learn how to sort of survive in sort of the wild. So hunting, foraging, tracking, fishing. It's kind of been our hobby, and yeah, she's nice. She's one of the Radobash. She's a Radobash as well.
I see. Well,
Leonard. And it'll be a good chance to see some of the city. I'll take you through Hell's Kitchen. It's just the bottom left of the park. He'll sort of go in that direction. Not sure how long it would actually be to get to the fishing to the spot. To be honest, I don't know New York very well.
Well, I mean, you could always get an Uber or something if you wanted. I mean, or
Yeah,
a taxi.
yeah. Malcolm would probably ask Ryan if he was fine getting an Uber, if he felt okay about that.
I just shrugs, man, and just kind of a accepting gesture.
Sometimes it's quicker to get an Uber than to drive or walk anywhere around here. Depends on the traffic. Traffic can be very important around these parts. He'll just sort of shake his head. But yeah, he'll call an Uber, and I assume that it's with a Virgin Radio Ash, it's not a big deal. Getting in the back with a taxi driver, he still probably ignores them and drives as quick as possible to get it over with. But yeah, Bill, are you okay if I time skip and we get there, or is there anything I would like to ask before we get there?
Yeah, no, no reason to. Yeah, so yeah, just time skip it out.
Brilliant. So yeah, so they'll time skip. They'll get to where Mrs. beckoned them to sort of meet. And what do they see as they arrive?
Well, they'll see your van, and I'm sure they wander around for a little bit before they find her. And when they find her, they just find a tiny little woman. Looks almost, really like a teenager, or even smaller than that, because she's in homemade form this time, wearing a hoodie. She looks kind of raggedy, although the van is fairly clean. And she's standing out there next to it. She's got some headphones on. She's listening to a podcast, but you can tell it's her. And she's just kind of standing by the side of the van right now, seemingly waiting for you to show up.
And Malcolm will smile as he sees the van. Oh, there she is.
Ein will look at the figure and kind of tilts his head a little sideways. Mikelinta. She is a tiny one.
You're not. She might be, but I think we're saying big things come in small packages holds true with Missy. She has a lot of personality. He'll give sort of a fond sort of smile. And yeah, he'll gently sort of walk towards Missy and just give a sort of cough to announce that he's there.
Well, she'll smile and wave and say, "Hey there. Nice to see you again. Man, nice to see you. Hang on a sec. Let me get this stuff out of the van." And she opens up the door and goes in there for a second. She comes out with three collapsible fishing rods, although they're already made up, and a tackle box, and a little. It looks like a little, basically a to-go container, which you would imagine have worms in them. And she's like, hands the hands the tackle box to Malcolm and says, "Right this way." Starts walking down the pier.
He'll he'll take a rod in the sort of tackle box and he'll smile as like quite enthusiastically actually as they're walking down near Via. Um, Missy, this is Ein. He arrived yesterday. Ein, this is Missy. And
All right. What does Missy see when she looks at Ein?
Uh, she would see a man around 5'9", 6 feet. His attire is well kept but simple. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Nearly in all black. The main thing you could really say that his stature seems very honed. Like you can see that he works out a lot, and that though he's not a mountain, he's more, yeah, he's not like a bear, he's more like a cougar. So
Okay.
and what and if you want another visual image in BS chat, the image of the scene, you'll see the picture on the bottom left.
Yeah, I see that. All right. Excuse me. I got allergies. And all right. Well, she'll just walk down to the pier, and actually, you guys probably have to pace yourselves because she's just so tiny. Little legs don't go too fast. Um,
I mean, Malcolm's not horrifically tall for a man. Malcolm's about 5'7", 5'8", so like probably average, a bit smaller than average. So
well,
yeah,
well,
he'll follow along.
yeah, she's 4'6", so you're
Fair,
very
yeah, he'll follow.
you're way bigger than she is. Uh, yeah, she's this teeny little thing, and and she'll just pull up a space at the end of the pier, and you know, plop down, I guess, on the pier itself, and she'll start stringing up the lines and putting worms on there. And she glances over. Y'all know how to do this? And looking at Dime.
He nods. Yes, I know how to fish.
Okay, well, here's your rod, and these are the worms. Well, you know the whole deal. And she goes about instructing Malcolm on exactly what she's doing and the knot that she's tying, to make sure that the hook doesn't come off, all that kind of thing. She'll take him through the fisherman's knot, and that sort of thing. And eventually, I'd say everything's strung up, and it's just time to cast. So, mm, she'll say, "So you just came in last night? How'd you get here? Come in on a plane?"
I did, but I've been in New York longer than a day. It's just the first time me and Dominic took the time to actually seek out the sept.
Dominic. Okay, so y'all know each other already. I haven't met him yet.
Yes. Me and Override met at a conference a while back.
All right. What kind of conference?
A tech conference.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I don't know too much about that sort of thing. I'm getting better at it. I had to learn when it comes to breaking in joints, being able to see the cameras and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's not really my thing. I just I know how to cut wires, that sort of thing.
Then you know more than most.
Well, I guess I don't know, but mm,
Most people don't actually know the tools that they work with. You know more than most.
ah, well, thank you for that. So, So how long you been in the life?
Like how long I've been a guru?
Yeah.
Uh, 2, 3 years, maybe. Probably less. Time kind of blends together. But I've been training
Yeah.
most of my life.
Oh, so you came up knowing that you might change that kind of thing, or did it just spring on you like it did Malcolm here?
No, I come from not necessarily a line of get offenders, but I do come from a line of warriors, so training was to be expected.
Mm. So you're a get one of them hotheads.
Mm, not exactly.
No.
No, I am a Fenrir, but that's a unfortunate stereotype my tribe has.
Well, they have worked to get it on occasion. You should have seen the last one we had around here. He's ripping shit up left, right, and center.
Hmm.
Malcolm will Malcolm will win slightly at that.
Yes, I hear his name was Milo.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was he was he was a good man and a very good Galliard and someone who honestly I'd want next to me in battle. Yeah, wasn't afraid to first to step up.
Yeah, I saw him charge down a man with a shotgun full of silver once. Took that fucker out. Ripped. I think he ripped him in half accidentally. He was trying to be merciful, but just grabbed for his arm, and next thing you know, there it comes flying across the room. That sort of shit. And yeah, big shoes. But yeah,
Malcolm also winces at that.
well, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm grumpy. That's actually my name is Grumpy. Uh, but well, welcome to the South to the Green. Uh, so tell us about yourself. What if you've been Guru 3 years? I take it you had the rite of passage and all by now.
Yes, I have.
Well, what's your story?
My story?
Yeah, go on.
Hmm. Well, let's see. For the most part, when I first did my training as a cub, it's mainly outside of just the physical part of combat training and whatnot. Me being a Ragadar, there were different expectations. I focused on mainly being, as my elders would say, contrarian. They did much. Some did not much care for that. Some felt like I was just doing things to irritate them, which to the point they were right. But I focused
Mal-
on the things that we weren't known for.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, all right. I mean, yeah, being contrary, that happens around here. I'm glad somebody else is here to, take a little of the weight off my shoulders when it comes to that sort of thing. Uh,
I
you
mean,
know.
you had Tina as well. Tina's good at that stuff.
Oh, yeah, knifey Tina. Good lord, that one. You better stay clear of her.
Hmm.
She's you know, she's grumpy too. I think it's just kind of a thing with Ragabash. We tend to be grumpy. Maybe it's just me, but I can grump well enough for everybody if I had to.
She seemed full of life.
Mm-hmm.
And also, contrarian is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is easily botched. So,
I mean, sometimes I imagine it's hard for you. I imagine it's hard in your role. Sometimes you have to be able to play devil's advocate in a way that people can understand and not take offence to or react in a counterproductive way. I imagine that can be difficult sometimes, especially if a large majority agree on something.
Eh, I've learned in my experience, people are going to get mad regardless of what you do. The main thing is eventually they actually listen to what you say and they think about it. Trying to be overly subtle just muddles the information.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, it is an art, so there's always a sense of give and take. But
Hmm.
my rite of passage, I had to infiltrate some rich man's estate back in Sweden.
How'd it go?
Well, obviously I'm still here.
Yeah, but did you get away with the crown jewels or?
I did.
Nice, nice.
I luckily he wasn't some type of worm informant or something. He was just a man who got hold of something that he wasn't supposed to. But he was still part of the criminal underground, so let's just say he was a wee paranoid.
Yeah, they tend to be that way. I don't know why.
I mean, it's underground for a reason, right?
Hmm. Well, you'll fit in real well around here because Lord knows this town's got plenty of criminal element, and then some.
Man, how come we'll make a face? I love this myself. You know, Missy, I've never asked, but what was your rite of passage like?
Nah, it's just killing some skull pigs. Nothing special.
I thought they are rather special. They're rare and highly aggressive.
Yeah, that they are. They've been known to do some stuff, but yeah, it didn't involve too much. It was just a couple poachers here and there, skull pigs, that kind of thing.
Sound dangerous.
Yeah, well, that's what guns are for. Mm. So, what's your type of fight in there, Rodegar?
Hmm. Well, it depends. That is a very long story.
All right. Well, come on. Don't be shy.
Hmm. So,
Unless you feel like being shy. I don't need to put you on the spot or nothing.
no, it's just. I'm trying to put it in a way that is not too expositional, which is probably going to be unavoidable. But in short, I follow the ways of my people. I focus more on the closed style of of our ways, not the open style, which typically evolves around more lower body exercises, footwork, kicks, maneuverability.
Oh, all right. Well, that's cool. I mean, as you might guess, as you might see from these spaghetti arms, I'm not the biggest slugger either. So I do a lot of similar things. Although I supplement it with lead, and that goes a long way if you get my drift. Bad joke.
No, it is fine.
Uh, Now, everybody, if you wouldn't mind, roll a wits plus survival. Difficulty 7.
We're gonna roll it. I think the main scene is rolling in BS, so we might want to do it and in dice roller. We might
Yeah,
want to do it. We
dice
might
roller
want to
one,
do
maybe.
it in. Might want to do it in Misc.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's do it there since they're rolling in here now. Uh, Looks like they're also rolling in Misk.
Yeah,
Let's
Alright.
go to extra dice roller 1.
yeah. Actually, really good call. We'll do it there. I was gonna say, what was it? Was it wits alertness?
No, it's wit survival.
I have some of that. 2 successes at diff 6.
Yeah,
It's a diff
let me
6 or diff
roll.
7?
I said 7, but did you get anything at 7?
No, I did not.
I got 1 success at diff 7. Sorry.
You got one success at diff 7. Let me see how I come along, because this is not her strongest point. Let's see.
And it has some
Oh
survival, but
shit!
it's not amazing.
Looks like Malcolm is the one who got a bite.
Yeah. So like, as they're talking, there'll be like a little nibble, and you'll probably see it on Malcolm's face, like, oh, I've got a nibble. Do I pull it in? And he's
Oh.
like,
She looks down there. It's kind of a long ways down. She's like, "It looks like it's splashing. Yeah, haul it in. Start reeling. Don't panic. It's just fish."
yeah, he reels it in as quickly as he can. Malcolm's not the most physical person, but he goddamn makes up for it with enthusiasm.
All right. Let me roll something for this fish here because they do fight. What are we going with here? Mm-hmm. The fish is thoroughly hooked and does not get off the thing. You get it. It's a fairly decent size. Well, shit. What kind of fish do they have in New York? There's catfish everywhere. So catfish, always catfish.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fair. Malcolm will pick it up. He's quite delighted. Look at his whiskers. It's so cool.
Yeah, you did good.
Should I?
Well, all right.
This is for the payment you agreed, right?
Yes, it
did you
is.
have a place you want?
Oh
Malcolm
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Let's. Oh shit! I forgot the bucket. Wait here. Don't get too wet or nothing. Don't let it fin you. She goes running off towards the towards the towards the van. She's gonna be getting a bucket and bringing it back.
Yeah, he'll drop it. He'll drop it in the bucket. Well, those rowing lessons with Dorian have been paying off. Speaking of fighting, it's Tina and I are thinking we might need to do our right soon. So they're trying to prepare us. But fighting's not my strong point.
Yeah. Ein looks over to Malcolm and say, "There's nothing wrong with having not the strongest combat ability, but you should know how to defend yourself at least."
Nod. Well, I'm working on it.
No,
I'm
good.
doing my best. It's. I don't know. I find it difficult to strike at someone. I mean, I know in the moment before I've been able to in Hispo, but to consciously fight someone, that's. I mean, I guess it's just something I'm gonna have to get used to liking and doing. But
You don't need to get used to liking fighting, but you do need to get used to doing it. So, and his tone comes off a little, not actually harsh, but more serious when he says that. And he continues, "The world will not spare you your kindness if you're not strong enough to defend yourself. Whether it is with your teeth and claws, or your social clout, or your intelligence. You need to have some tool ready to defend yourself."
you'll nod. You're right, Raya. It's something. It's just another obstacle to get over. I think it's easy to hold on a false perception of oneself and say this is something I wouldn't do or can't do.
He nods
I can do
yes.
it.
Missy comes running back up with a big orange 5 gallon bucket that's almost as large as she is, and puts it down. She's like, "Here, here, put it in."
So he'll drop it in the bucket. Are there any other fish in the bucket?
No, there's not. There's just some water in there. Uh, she's like, "Yeah, sorry, I should have filled it up sooner. I forgot." Uh,
It,
but it happens. Mm.
I mean, we've got to do some more fishing if Bear's going to have a feast tonight.
Oh, it's for true. We're gonna have to do some more. So line up your string there and cast back out there, slugger. But yeah, sorry about that. I should have prepared a little bit better. so so yeah, this is here. This is what I do. I go fishing and I drive the van. That one back there. Uh, not too much else to it. I'm also, I guess, the contrarian. Well, some people might tell you that. It depends on who you ask. Uh, most of my jokes don't go over too well, unfortunately. Uh, but it is what it is. I've been studying lately.
Hmm, that's good.
Yeah, I need to get my GED. I grew up out in the woods, so I didn't really do any book learning or anything like that. Um, this was really wasn't my first trip to town, but it's certainly the first trip to a place like this. And I spent a couple of months just basically hiding in the cairn. This ain't my scene exactly. At least not the town is. Oh, and because of formality, name is Missy Shane, as in the dark, Bonar Ragabash, and Metis, as it happens.
I said, man, you got a quirks when you bring up that up, but it's it's more just kind of realizing it since you brought it up. But he doesn't hesitate too much longer, and says, "I am Ein Arndecker, Woden's fortune, the member of Fenrir." Said, "Born on two legs."
Hmm. Yeah. Well, like I said, welcome to the set of the green. Uh, I'm sure you'll find plenty to do around here. There's something actually I want to talk to you about, Malcolm. And I mean, it's good to have Ian here as well. It's not a bad idea. You know, well, I take it, Ian, you've met Great White Mouse.
I have not.
You have not. Oh Lord, we're amiss. We need to go do that. We'll do that right after this. Let's get some more fish. You know, uh, shit. I guess I could go by a fish market, but I mean, Bayard probably really want the real thing. I mean, maybe we can pass off the catfish, and then the rest he'll go for. What do you think?
Mal-
What do you think near the
Malcolm raises Malcolm raises a brow at that. As
uh,
a resident, I mean,
uh,
Bear did Bear did say she preferred the wild ones,
it's
and
true.
it's the effort that counts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anybody meeting great white mouse is a good thing. But that's actually kind of what I want to talk to you about. I mean, I'm sure. Well, you obviously know Malcolm, but I don't know if Ian is for sure. This set we're in, we got a very particular type of cairn. Us Nars do. It's one of the strongest anywhere, and strong enough it has two totems. And now, as I've said, being a Nar Cairn, it deserves to have a Nar totem. And I'm telling you, Raccoon, he's got an awful lot good going for him. He's good at this sort of thing right here, just surviving, pulling fish out of things and, well, other stuff. And he's damn well a scrapper. If you're into smashing and bashing and ripping and tearing, he'd give you a shot on that, give you a boost. What do you think about that, Malcolm? As a second totem.
Malcolm will, Malcolm will nod. Well, I understand and can see the value that Great White Mouse brings to our set. And I would never choose another totem other than Great White Mouse alone. But he'll sort of scratch his head a little bit, and he's sort of got a thoughtful expression on his face. I've actually spoken with Roland and Dorian and a few others about this. I I can understand where you're coming from. Where a sept that survives where septs aren't supposed to survive in the middle of the city, and raccoons can survive anywhere they are. In the woods, they can forage. In the city, they can find things that others have lost, or forgotten, or can't find a use for. Um, and you said they're fighters, and I know you have a close relationship with them, so I I can understand your thinking. But if I'm honest, I can also see a lot of wisdom in what Zelda said at the moot. I
What's that?
think having two, well, didn't Zelda mention that perhaps it may not be a good idea to have two Nora totems, because of the type of Ken, because of the type of set that we're in.
Well, yeah, Zelda said that, but I mean, it's Zelda. She would. Or no, she probably wants to get firecracker thunder coming down in this place.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that, but
Well,
she made a good point. She made a good point in that lots of people from different tribes, different cultures are coming to the cairn. Maybe having two Nora totems that might send a message, or make people feel uncomfortable. It's. I mean, I'm not against taking Raccoon as another totem if the Sept wanted it. I mean, if the Sept wanted Grandfather Thunder or Fenrir as a whole as the second totem, I might find it hard, but I'd do my job as a Theurge to serve them. But it needs to be the totem that we choose as a second needs to be the right totem. That it's a totem that we're going to have a relationship with, all of us, for a long time.
yeah.
It's not. It's not a totem that can represent a few of us. It's a totem that has to represent the majority or all of us, like Great White Mouse does.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Like, exactly like Great White Mouse does. She's glancing over at Ian here and there. But you see, that's the thing. The reason is, I wouldn't be afraid to say that the reason this set has stood so long in this city is because of the Bonars. See, here's the deal. Ain't nobody as accepting as we are because, well, look at us. We're the ones at the bottom. Everybody else gets awful upset about all kinds of things, but we generally tend to play it cool. We do let everybody in. I mean, hell, half the Bonars are people who just got kicked out of other tribes. We are the welcoming sort, and and that's one of the reasons why this set has stood so long and hasn't ended up, in somebody's hands who's decided nobody else can come in. I mean, you know how Guru are. People get awful territorial about, well, lampposts. But a place like this, I mean, maybe I'm being territorial too. Maybe, yeah, you could be said. But thing is, these other tribes around here, she's glancing over at Ina again. Other tribes have lots of different cairns. We got one. We got one cairn. And I'm very interested in that saying, our cairn. So, maybe I'm a little prejudiced in all this. I mean, it could be said. But
I mean, are you
Hmm?
when you say our ten? Whose ten is it? Do you mean the Bonos or the
Well,
Daru
yeah.
who lived on the Sept,
I mean,
or the nation as a whole?
the bone gnawers. I mean, well, what about you, Ian? I mean, you're a Get Fenris. I mean, you guys have a number of cairns spread out across the world, don't you?
We do, and
Yeah.
I would say for the most part, Missy, you're correct. This is a Bonar sept, thus the Bonar totem makes the absolute sense. But it sounds like Malcolm is wishing this place to be some type of haven, not just simply to the Bonars themselves, but the Guru as a whole, which is an
Well, it,
admirable thing. But I would also like to point out you are wishing to join the children of Gaia, and the children of Gaia have several Karens that do that. Why make another one?
Malcolm, Malcolm will just nod. That's a fair point, right? I'll be honest. I'm prejudiced in that Unicorn's path appeals to me. Unity is important, and I understand it's important for bone knowers who, as Missy Raya has said, have traditionally been looked down upon and have lived by their wits. Having a place of power for them and somewhere they feel secure is really important. And Great White Mouse incarnates that. It's my job. I consider it my job as a Theurge to serve all of the spirits, not just one type, not just Unicorn's brood. I it's my job to give the options and to look at the possibilities.
No, what you're doing is very much appropriate. It's more, as he looks more directly at you, Ein. I do, every time I hear you speak, I hear doubt in your voice. What I.
You do?
Yes, I do.
He'll tilt his head a little bit. I've never heard that, Raya. What do you think I'm doubting?
That's what I'm not sure. I see you're very apologetic, which is not necessarily bad in itself, but let's just say you're going to be prone to, what's the word, retreating, but eventually you're going to hit a wall, or you'll be retreating forever. So, what do you want? Because if you want unity for the sept and you want a totem that accepts all in its glory, then have the confidence to say that and say, despite he looks over back to Missy, eyes in the dark's opinion, this is wiser.
Or not? He'll actually glance at Missy to see what Missy thinks, but he's thinking. Hey.
well, she did get 3 successes on the big appreciative smile that she gives to Ein for a charisma expression as to everything that he has said and what amazing. Yeah, that's really great. It's clear. Every damn thing that just came out of his mouth gained respect in her eyes. So,
Fair enough. Malcolm will nod. I'll take that. I'll take that under advisement. There are. I mean, I can talk about some of the totems that I've heard other people wish to consider, or if you'd like to know what sort of totems I would potentially suggest or think about,
well,
I'm
I'd
more
be
than
fine
happy
with
to
all
share.
that. Yeah, go ahead. Put it out there. I mean, my opinion ain't the only one. It's just the right one. But feel free. And yeah, go ahead.
Malcolm
And
will.
at that moment, everybody make a wits plus survival roll.
Oh, sorry, I rolled it in the wrong thing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How do I delete a
Whoop.
message?
I don't know.
Just
Just for
click on the dots and it should say delete message. But if you already roll the actual roll numbers, you can't delete those. Unfortunately, you can only delete
Oh
the
god damn
message.
it! I'll do it in another.
yeah,
Oh,
do it
sorry,
and
it went in the wrong one.
yeah,
Right,
do it and
there we go.
expertise for a little one.
Malcolm will one success to Malcolm. Yeah,
Huh?
Malcolm will say then. Well, for me, Dorian and I have discussed. Dorian discussed that with me, which I found a really interesting conversation. So I can talk a little bit more about that. We also discussed Black Unicorn, who's a protector and defender of, the weak, which I think having a protector or guardian as a totem in these, especially after what's just happened, that could help heal a lot of people. There's two spirits in particular that I think could be very interesting to look into further. The first one, Missy, you'll be more familiar than this than me. I assume you've heard of Mira?
Mirror?
Era, the original healing spirit that was in the set, out of character.
Oh, well, for one thing, everybody got a hit, so roll in your stuff. And everybody got a fish, so start hauling. And she will say, Mira, she got here. Well, I got here after Mira had passed away. I heard that some of the bad ones came and got her. But do go on. Tell us more about Mira and others you have in mind. And yeah, haul that in. You got another fish.
He'll go to Hall. He'll go to sort of reel it in, but he'll sort of nod. Yeah. So as you'll know, Mira was a spirit of healing. The Scepter of Green came from, I believe, something similar to a tent city. It was built on old lands, old tribal lands, and then a lot of the people living around New York, the outcasts, those who were lost that didn't have a place to go, they they set up their home on what would become Central Park, and Mira was a spirit of water and a spirit of healing, which um, I think could be powerful considering that the sept itself is in a time of healing after horrible tragedy. Working together to bring that back. I think that could be something powerful. That could be a relationship that would benefit us and the set, but would benefit the spirit as well. So that's a potential option. The other spirit I suggest might be a little bit unorthodox, but I'd be interested to see how it turned out.
All right. In the meantime, we're going to say, let's see, both Malcolm and Missy get, fairly moderate sized fish. They're okay. I mean, they're not that big. However, Ryan gets a whopper. This is one hell of a big catfish. And now we're going to see how strong he really is. Roll strength versus this thing's stamina.
Well, prepare to be unimpressed.
Unimpressed. All right.
So, am I doing difficulty 9 or difficulty 6?
You're doing diff 6. It's just a regular strength roll. That was for the fish that has a hook in it. That's why it's the 9 to get off. Okay, well he botched and you got 1, so he somehow, you didn't do so great, but apparently this fish in its thrashing managed to hook itself twice. So you get this giant ass catfish, up out of there, man. I mean, this is a big old mofo. It'd be worth a picture probably. Um, and yeah, I'm like, well, there you go. But you were speaking of Mira, and then you said another one, kind of unorthodox. Go back to that.
Mhm. Yeah, so Malcolm will pause just to see if they have any questions, if they want to say anything. Malcolm's quite a patient person. He doesn't mind taking the time. Um,
But when I grabs the fish, he does it relatively nonchalantly. He kind of flips it behind his back, but he does it where not getting hit by the scale, but enough for it to kind of pass through his fingers to get the hook off and put it into the bucket.
Well, all right.
nice. Malcolm will nod.
Like,
He's impressed.
yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, I bet there's some hooping and hollering over the size of that fish that came in. At least Missy would be enthusiastic about it. Uh, and well, Missy says before you continue, I mean, she's like, well, I mean, I understand that idea with Mira, but I mean, what you told me so far, well, I understand the healing. I really do. And that's a good point. The Mira was here first, but like I said, when it comes to defense, when it comes to that sort of thing, maybe you never seen a raccoon fight, but I mean they'll split you from tail to chin, just easy as pie with them claws, and that's one of the things he gives. He makes your strikes hit harder every time. You swing a claw at somebody, and man, they'll come apart like butter.
Malcolm
And
will.
it's when it comes to the surviving, I mean, you got a good idea who it is, being able to find things and do stuff, but I really think this is the way to go. And I mean, my mind is open, I suppose, to other things. It is important to me. It is very important to me that people do feel accepted here. But what I'm trying to say is, people are already accepted here. It's not going to change that. It's really not. It's just going to make us stronger, make us tougher, which we need because we lost a lot of strength lately, and we lost a lot of heart and a lot of tears. And this could be a good way forward. I just
He'll not.
wanted to.
That's
But
that's an entirely fair argument, Ray.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Go on with what you were saying.
That's an entirely fair argument. A good question is we can talk about the spiritual ramifications of allying with the totem, the history, the relationship we have with it, but there are practical concerns and ideas that they had as well. What do we need? So that's. I look forward to seeing what different people think when it's eventually decided. But there's another totem I was thinking about that might be more your speed, something more what's the word? Stable. Something strong.
Hmm. But who's that?
Ismail, have you ever heard of Standing Stone?
Standing Stone.
Oh, come on, nod. Yeah. What? Think about Stonehenge. No, um, have you seen pictures of it? I'd assume.
Yeah, I heard about it. It's someplace over there in England. It's like some kind of calendar or something.
You'll nod. Exactly that. So, thousands of years ago, these standing stones were gathered and they were built by an entire community to mark the calendar, they think, and worship the sun. But the exact reason isn't important. What happened was the practicality. This group of people found a way, against great difficulty, to move giant slabs of rock before the technology really even existed, to build something together that would last throughout time, even after their mortal lives had passed. It's such as the Great Pyramids, or even on Easter Island, the great statues. Standing stone is a spirit of community and a spirit of people coming together to build something firm on solid foundations that will stand the test of time, and that will a skyscraper would be as valid as a circle stone built with Stone Age tools. It's the effort, the community, the desire to create something permanent that's important.
Oh, well, we sure as hell ain't putting a skyscraper in the middle of the cairn. I'll tell you that
I
much.
mean, he'll smile. He'll smile. It's I wouldn't want to doubt, but it's a little ambitious. But I don't know.
That's interesting, though. That is. I'll say that one is interesting. That that one was kind of interesting.
it's
Well,
something people might want to look into. I, I heard about it and thought maybe it could fit.
huh. Well, like
And
I said, I'm trying to keep an open mind about things. It doesn't always have to be my way, even though I am right. I mean, it is a community thing, and people, have their opinions and stuff. I mean, that's just natural. That's an interesting idea. I'll have to look into that one for real, honest. Uh, you know, and huh, how about that?
not. Well, I'd be
What
interested to
about
see what people think.
you, Rodegar? You ever been in a pack before?
No, I haven't. But I think the cub was going to continue. You were saying, Malcolm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Go on, go on.
He'll just give a conceding nod. Well, it's okay, right? I was just going to say I'd be interested in hearing people's thoughts about it, but I'd be interested to hear. I'd be interested to hear about what you were going to say about PAX.
There's a small frown with your last statement on Ein's face, but he doesn't say anything about it. And he continues saying, "No, I haven't been around long enough to be involved with a pack. There weren't too many Garu in my area. I wasn't actually involved with the Sept, more many kinfolk and small, I guess, packs themselves, training me.
Oh well,
So,
well. I mean, well, there are packs here. I mean, every pack on set lost somebody big.
hmm,
Two of them lost their alphas. Three of them are really. One one ascended to an elder, and so he's got to go off quest, and so yeah, everybody's low, and it's got awful. But I tell you, take your time looking around. There's different options available. Uh, but you know that. I mean, everybody, you know that. So,
there's
uh,
a concerned look on Ein's face. That Ronin was not that powerful.
well, he cheated just enough to make sure that it didn't matter, I guess.
Even so, it's a lot of Garu for one person to take down.
What you trying to say?
I am begrudgingly impressed, though disappointed.
Huh. Disappointed, huh?
Hmm. Not in your performance. The Ronins, a person with that much power, making our numbers that much lower, it is unfortunate. but it happens.
Every one of them damn guru was worth more than he was.
Don't think
Every
I
one.
said.
She's pointing at you now.
Said. Don't think I feel that this Ronin has any reason for any real respect. I'm just saying what it is. The man is dead, and I hope that he resides in hell none the same. But hopefully we won't have to face an enemy. We won't have to face an enemy like that ever again. If not, we'll be better prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That fucker was one in a million, that's for sure. She's got a big frown on her face now. He's like,
Yeah,
well,
Malcolm's gone very quiet and he's turned towards where he's fishing.
But
yeah. Well, yeah. Uh, anyway, uh, my alpha was one of them that he killed. So you might want to put a cork in that opinion there. You don't want people getting the wrong idea about what you mean when you say that, especially not that boy with the horns. He's a hothead.
he nods to that.
Well, shit. Nah, I guess we got enough fish. Let's come on. Let's pack it up. I'll get some other stuff for Bear. He
Malcolm
likes
will
all
just
kinds of some carrots
Malcolm,
or something.
Malcolm will nod silently. He's still sort of looking out towards the river.
Well, she'll start reeling in a line and all that, you know. Breaking down her pole. She doesn't say much anything else. And I guess if y'all want to end the scene, she would drive everybody back to set. And, you know,
And Malcolm will follow. He's quite quiet for Malcolm. He's a little bit tense. To be honest. But yeah, he'll pack up, help pack up.
yeah. Somebody else is going to have to carry the bucket because it's full of water and a bunch of fish, and she's just not that strong.
Ein will grab it and begin lugging it. So he seems to be in thought.
and and I
Hmm?
guess we can call it there unless y'all want to go on. I mean,
No, that's a good place to end it. So,
It's a good place to end it. Yeah, it's like.
all right.
and with that, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. Have a good morning.